Hello everyone, my name is Nuri, and this is peak Fortnite gameplay right here, ladies and gentlemen. Truly majestic. Yes. Somehow, this garbage aim and a total of 0 builds achieved the highest rank in Fortnite. And no, this isn't some crazy pro player 24-hour challenge. The truth is, I just legally cannot build. My fingers physically refuse to piece control, and my aim is a hazard to society. So, if you want to see the ultimate masterclass in tactical cowardice, hiding in bushes, and breaking the ranked system without placing a single wall, buckle up, because this is how an actually unskilled player in Fortnite reached Unreal rank. Now, starting out in the lower ranks, the lobbies were mostly filled with literal bots. And let's be honest, it was a fair fight. I was struggling against AI that couldn't even shoot straight. But then, the matchmaking caught up. The bots vanished, the real players arrived, and things got way more interesting. Suddenly, I wasn't just fighting the game mechanics. I was fighting for my life against absolute sweats. He stood completely still, and I still managed to absolutely destroy the wall. I think the wall was the real enemy.
This is the end.
Just giving him a warning shot, 20 times in a row. Out of nowhere, this guy wingsuits straight onto my forehead, boxes himself in, and decides I'm not even a threat. He's literally healing and emoting on my face, and I am struggling just to shoot through a wall. The disrespect is palpable. And just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, a third guy shows up and takes me out of my misery. Thanks, buddy. Alright, so the next match was basically a solo looting simulator. It was completely dead, so please enjoy this highly intense time-lapse accompanied by some truly beautiful music.
Fortnite Battle Pass, I just shit out my ass, booted up my PC, cause I need to get that Fortnite Battle Pass. I like Fortnite, did I mention Fortnite? I like Fortnite.
And the piece is gone. Someone started beaming me from the top of Mount Everest, and my tactical survival instincts immediately kicked in. Step 1. Hide in a bush. Step 2. Realize the bush sucks. Dive behind a tree and pray for a miracle. Spoiler alert, no miracles today. He rushed downhill like a heat-seeking missile and completely annihilated me. Back to the lobby. First of all, if you are still watching this video right now, thank you, and I am deeply sorry. You have officially witnessed the definition of tragic gameplay, and your patience deserves an award. But hey, the grind to Unreal doesn't stop just because I lack basic motor skills. New match, new struggles. Let's get it. Okay, hold on. I actually landed shots from a distance. Look at me go! Of course, he immediately panicked and built a 2-bedroom townhouse. And then he pulled a literal magic trick and completely disappeared. I could see his shadowy figure and hear him creeping around like a horror movie villain. And obviously, I think this is the best time to reload my weapon. I am reloading for my life while actively absorbing bullets. But by some absolute miracle, the reload finished. Of course, I had to default emote him. Now this next clip is just sad, as if the previous weren't, but just look at it. I have no words.
Oh my god, stop bro, I'm stuck. Can you help me?
Ah yes, landing in the middle of absolutely nowhere.
Nice landing!
Truly a bustling metropolis of tactical opportunity. For quite some time, I sat there like a mastermind, emoting my heart out to bait this guy into my trap. I thought I was pulling off a 200 IQ play, but as time ticked on, I realized something tragic. This wasn't a sweaty player. This was a literal bot whose player-finding algorithm was completely melting down, trying to pathfind its way to me. Eventually, I felt so bad watching its programming struggle that I just walked out of the tunnel to make it easy for him. Come on, buddy. I'm right here. I got up on the roof to get a better look, and yep, his algorithm completely short-circuited again.
You finally decided to join us.
He built 2 stories into the air and just stood there, questioning his own existence. I tagged him a few times, so he decided to push me. By literally hugging the wall underneath me and staring straight ahead. Truly a tactical mastermind. So I did what any pro player would do. I jumped down and hit a majestic mid-air trick shot. Absolutely shameful clipping a bot like that, but hey, a kill is a kill. Alright, this guy actually spotted me chilling behind my favorite tree. He immediately built some cover, knowing I was trapped. I peeked once, peeked twice, and would you look at that? The bloom actually worked in my favor. Picked him off from a distance. We are officially cooking now. Fast forward a bit, and we are down to the final 2. I am barricaded inside a building, holding my breath, just waiting for the final boss to push me. The zone starts moving, so I finally step outside ready to fight for my life.
Nice car!
And the game just ends? Wait, what? Bro literally died to the storm. Hey, I told you tactical cowardice pays off. Unreal rank. Here we come. Look at that beautiful, shiny victory crown. Completely, 100% hard-earned from the previous match. Fear me, lobbies, a titan has descended. I spotted a guy in a hot air balloon. Naturally, I whipped out the silenced weapon. The plan? Flawless stealth. He'll never know where it's coming from. Spoiler alert, he knew exactly where it was coming from. He dropped down, chased me down like a rabid animal, and found me hiding behind a literal pizza van. Rest in peace, Crown. We hardly knew ye. Wait a minute. Are the shots actually connecting? Is the aim genuinely improving? Hold on, guys. I think I might actually be getting good at this game. We made it all the way to the final 2 again. No flukes this time. The dream of a legitimate, earned victory royale is right in front of us. And then, absolute tragedy strikes. The zone pulled the worst possible shift. Clearly, I didn't learn my lesson about hiding. Exhibit A, hiding under a house thinking I'm safe, only for a guy to drop down like an angry landlord. Exhibit B, hiding under a literal player-built monument. Wait, am I actually picking people off from sniper distance with a semi-auto pistol? Look at the range on this thing. Okay, it wasn't a fluke. This is officially my favorite weapon so far. Look at this poor guy just trying to enjoy a peaceful morning swim in the river before I completely ruined his day. Immediately next match, I'm back to hiding under player structures, and I get absolutely dismantled by a literal pickaxe. Is this karma for committing an international war crime against a defenseless athlete? Yeah, probably. I was just minding my own business, completely weaponless, when this guy rushes the room, kicking the door down like a literal FBI raid. Spoiler alert, bringing fingernails to a gunfight does not work. Back to the lobby. I was just minding my own business when a tactical genius decided to wingsuit directly into my line of fire. I didn't even have to move my crosshairs. Naturally, I went to high-five myself, ran up the stairs, and immediately met his roommate who was waiting there with a preloaded weapon. The wingsuit warrior has been avenged, and my ego has been successfully liquidated. Perfect. Up on the tower, putting on an absolute masterclass and missing 90% of my shots. Next moment, I get absolutely melted. With a fraction of my soul left, he builds a mansion, and like the true tactical landlord I am, I immediately move into his basement. My tenancy here is incredibly stressful, just waiting for him to drop down like a jump scare. I managed to pay my rent with a shield potion, but then the storm arrived to officially evict us. With low HP and a dream, I jumped out to wingsuit to safety. But before the airplane of my hopes could even take off, he completely shot down my flight. The pistol legend has returned to reclaim his throne. Behold the absolute sniper precision of the standard sidearm. I am officially untouchable. And I am dead. Apparently, there is always a bigger fish. And that fish had a rifle from 3 zip codes away. My reign lasted exactly 4 seconds. Respect. While ordinary players drop into the chaos to fight for glory, I chose a different path. I waited until the absolute end of the bus line to jump into the literal abyss, safely avoiding human contact at all costs. And to my beloved viewers, I want to sincerely apologize. Look, I know you explicitly tuned in expecting low-skill gameplay. I warned you from the start. But surely you didn't expect this level of absolute unadulterated garbage. There is a fine line between low skill and hiding from my own shadow, and I have obliterated it. I am truly sorry you have to witness this mess. But thank you for sticking with me so far. I paused mid-match to witness a literal 7-star luxury hotel constructed directly on a fully steep hillside. Not on it. On its side. The engineering? Flawless. The safety hazards? Immense. I had to appreciate the view. Naturally, I tried to instantly demolish this architectural wonder before the general public could witness it. Realizing I lacked the proper permits, I decided to wingsuit directly into the lobby, catching a few bullets mid-flight as a warm welcome. We get to close quarters, and history immediately repeats itself. He builds a miniature version of the hotel in 2 seconds flat. He claims the luxury penthouse suite upstairs while I, once again, secure my rightful place in the damp basement. The cycle continues. While I am waiting for my landlord to evict me, a third player spots him chilling on the rooftop. Naturally, an absolute unadulterated shit show breaks out right above my head. He wins the fight, jumps down, and immediately hides in a bush. Wait, a sweaty player hiding? Have I finally found my long-lost twin? But the shit show continues. The storm arrives, threatening to wipe us both from existence. A philosophical question arises. Do we fight each other, or do we form an unholy alliance to defeat the storm first? Plot twist. I chose violence. I shut down his real estate empire for good. And obviously, how else do you celebrate a hard-earned victory? You hit him with the default dance. Pure skill. Never doubted myself for a second. New match, and we land directly on a balloon. Decent loot right off the bat. Could it be? Are we actually looking at back-to-back wins? I move to a rooftop and a gentleman decides to join the party. Naturally, my aim goes completely out the window as I struggle for my life, but I manage to hit him a few times. But hold on a second. Parts of this roof are made of glass? I panic jumped, broke the glass, and went on a gazillion-mile drop straight to my doom. I landed directly at the feet of a random guy who was just minding his business. Next match. I am peacefully looting, meticulously managing my inventory in absolute serenity. There are no enemies nearby, no threats to my existence. But it raised a profound question. What if I am the threat? I didn't even give the lobby a chance to kill me. I took care of it myself. Efficient.
69, dudes!
Next clip, I am locked in a high-stakes, Intense duel with an apex predator. But wait a minute. He doesn't even have a weapon. He is literally just exercising. Despite him being completely defenseless, my aim decides to take a scheduled vacation. I am missing shots against a guy whose only defense mechanism is emotional distress. Eventually, the massive handicap of him having zero firepower finally gives in, and I secure the kill. Next up, I cross paths with another absolute Bob the Builder enthusiast. I spotted a critical flaw, a fragile window, smacked my face against the drywall, and died on the spot. Yes, chilling at the top of a high tower, enjoying the view, they forgot I brought the double sawed-off delete buttons. 2 taps, 0 thoughts, and the rooftop party is officially over. Back at it again with the silent but deadly stealth tactics. I pulled off a beautiful long-range delete. Someone beams me from across the map, draining my soul. I aggressively panic-chug a couple of shield potions, try to run away, and get shot in the spine again. I am playing a survival horror game at this point. I barricade myself inside a tiny shed, peeking out the door to watch him descend from his skyscraper. And then, he rudely flies straight through my window. Next clip, I decide to embrace my true calling as a shrub. I set a trap in a lovely bush, wait for a customer, and execute a flawless, zero-effort elimination. Naturally, the high life doesn't last. The very next clip, I once again find myself living underneath another player's structure. I am starting to think my character's default spawn point is just someone else's basement. And just like always, the landlord is not having it. He speedruns the eviction notice, drops through the floorboards, and sends me straight back to the lobby. My lease was officially terminated. Like and subscribe so I can afford rent next match. Starting off strong with a clean kill, but before I can even taste the loot, someone decides to airdrop directly onto my head. My crosshairs are vibrating with pure panic, but after a very questionable shotgun duel, we survive. No time to rest. I take the high ground and spot another player who clearly left his headphones in the other room. He has zero clue I am directly above him. 2 taps, 0 awareness. Suddenly, a sweat boxes me. I am trapped like a rat in a cage. It is an absolute chaos festival. Aim swinging everywhere, heart rate at 200 beats per minute. And within a literal microsecond, the final boss steps over the corpse and deletes me. Second place. Again. 4 kills in seconds. Just to be the warm-up act for the guy who won. I need a nap. We start the next match with a high-skill, intense tactical duel against a literal bot who was lost in the sauce. After that warm-up, I retreat into my natural habitat, a bush, to observe the local ecosystem. For a full, glorious minute, I sit back and enjoy a front-row seat to absolute madness. Sweats are constructing 5-star resort towers, editing at Mach 10, and deleting each other one by one. I am doing absolutely nothing, and it is beautiful. Finally, one sole survivor emerges from the carnage, feeling like a god. I politely send him to the lobby with my silenced rifle from the bush, collect the fruits of his labor, and wingsuit away like a majestic hero toward the nearest rooftop. But the peace is short-lived. Another Batman swoops in right behind me. We enter a high-stakes rooftop duel, crosshairs shaking, heart speeding, and I somehow take the win. 2 kills down, feeling like a legend. And then, history repeats itself. I end up in the basement once again. The landlord drops from his penthouse on the top story, enters my residence without a warrant, and deletes me. Second place. Again, I am officially the permanent vice president of the lobby. So, after all the shutter crushing, the constant basement evictions, and delivering free loot from glass roofs, I opened my lobby screen and realized something terrifying. I somehow made it to Unreal. Unreal. The highest rank in the game. I don't know if the ranking system is broken, or if hiding in bushes until second place is secretly the optimal strategy, but here we are. A living, breathing proof that you don't need double edits or 240 FPS to reach the top. Just patience, luck, and a strong affinity for real estate. If this absolute disaster of a playstyle gave you hope for your own ranked games, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right now. And drop a comment below. Should I actually try to learn how to build, or do I double down and become the permanent landlord of the basement? Let me know, and I'll make the content you guys suggest. And here are the official receipts. Look at these glorious, breathtaking numbers that took me all the way to Unreal rank. A staggering 3.9% win rate, meaning I lost 96% of my games, and a grand total of 1.1 eliminations per match. I was essentially a pacifist with a gun, taking one guy down per game before immediately seeking shelter. Out of 78 matches, nearly half of them were spent hiding in the top 10%, proving once and for all that you don't need high kills to rank up. You just need a solid bush, a reliable basement, and the sheer will to outlast everyone else. Now that I'm actually in Unreal lobbies, the honeymoon phase is officially over. These guys aren't building hotels anymore, they're building whole cities in half a second, and my basement-dwelling tactics are getting tested to their absolute limits. If you enjoyed watching a regular player somehow survive the sweatfest and hustle his way to the top, hit that subscribe button and drop a like. Join the channel so you don't miss the next chapter. We're proving you don't need 240 FPS and macro edits to have a good time. Drop a comment with your worst ranked fail down below so I know I'm not alone out here. Thanks for watching, GG's, and I'll catch you guys in the next storm.